And we are live. What is going on, everybody? My name is Nikki Smokes, joined by my co-host Bobby. You were listening to the Smoke Show. Sorry for the 10:30 a.m. episode. Usually it's every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 5 to 6, but we got a hurricane coming through, so the odds are I won't have power by the time it gets to 5, 6 p.m. So I'm showing my dedication to my fan base, the Dolphins Nation. I love each and every single one of you guys with all my heart. And there was no way we were going to miss a pregame show. There is just absolutely no way the Storm's going to have to come in and wipe me out myself. The Fins are 3-0. We're on the road up against Cincinnati, and we're trying to stay perfect. Bobby, how are you feeling about this game, brother?
Bro, I mean, everyone's picking against us. The Dolphins are underdogs in this game, which is just crazy. I get it from a gambling perspective, at least, because I've done that a ton. But, man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. A little adversity, it's going to create some more opportunity. McDaniels keeps it rolling. Yep. The team's leaving early from Florida to get to Cincinnati because of the hurricane. So it's crazy times. But I'm curious to see. It's another test for this Miami Dolphins team. So far, they've aced every test that's been put in front of them. Now McDaniels has a new one he's got to try and prepare for. And who am I to sit here and doubt Coach Mike McDaniel and the Miami Dolphins? Can't do it.
Can't
so
doubt
I'm feeling good, dude. I'm excited.
Well, I should have mentioned this earlier, but to all my Floridians out there, please stay safe. Please stay bunkered down and just get ready for the storm. It's not a joke. That thing's definitely coming. Usually it misses us, but it's actually coming. And yes, I mean, just stay safe. But the craziest part is me and you were bettors, right? Like, we love to gamble on the NFL. Yep. And this is a trap game. Like, it is. And I'm telling you, like, when you have your biggest win in franchise history, I mean, in like the last 10 years, let's be realistic. And then you're on the road and everyone just saw you beat the number one juggernaut in the NFL. And now you're getting 3.5 points up against a team that's honestly their only win is against the Jets. And they lost to Cooper Rush. And who the Bengals lose to week 1? I don't even remember who they lost to week 1, but another game that they should have won that they lost. Pittsburgh, that's who it was, Pittsburgh.
Oh, yeah.
So it is a trap game, but now the Dolphins have like this emotional thing. Like, now they have to play for the state of Florida. Yeah. Like, they're going to be playing for the state of Florida. So that might even out the trap game. But overall, man, like, when I look at our teams, like, top to bottom, I think the Dolphins are a much better football team than the Cincinnati Bengals. I think our offensive line is playing better. They might have bigger names, but our offensive line is playing much better than the Bengals. Tua's playing better than Joe Burrow. I would take Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill over T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Wouldn't even think about it. I mean, I'll give them Joe Mixon, obviously, over Chase Edmonds. And no disrespect to Chase. He's a dog, but, like, Mixon's a dude. I take our front seven over theirs. I take our secondary over theirs. I think top to bottom, the Dolphins are just a better football team than the Cincinnati Bengals. And they should win this game. Like, the only way they don't is if it's like the classic betting trap game, like, and it happens.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've seen a lot of people, especially now, saying it's not a trap game. If you're calling it a trap game, you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, a trap game can be a multiple different things, but when you just look at this game from like a point blank angle, the 3-0 Dolphins are taking on the Cincinnati 1-2, or they're 1-2, right? Or are they 2-1? I'm slow. They're 1-2. So you would think going into this game, Dolphins are favored. Dolphins are the better team, but nope. You look at the line, Bengals are favored. People are hammering the Bengals. So for that reason, it's a trap game, letdown game, whatever you want to call it. It is what it is.
Like, in my opinion, when everyone and their mother is like, wow, how is this team an underdog? Like, dude, that is trap. Yeah. Like, if me and you were like, yo, how are the Dolphins not favored? If Joe and Sally are like, how are the Dolphins not favored against the Bengals? Exactly, bro. Dude, that is the definition of a trap game.
Like, and it is what it is, man. And good teams win trap games. Good teams go out and they put that bullshit aside and they go out and win these games. So, and like you just said, I truly believe the Dolphins have the better roster. I know it's early on to say this, but I believe the Dolphins have the much superior head coach. I think Mike McDaniel is one of the best in-game managers, best play callers in the league. Yep. Zach Taylor, people were shitting on this guy for so long, but then they made their run last year, so I'm going to give them their props. They made their run good and well, but they haven't looked the same this year. And if our front seven decides to turn up, and we've said Jalen Phillips, just expecting him so many times, but this really is the breakout spot for him. Joe Burrow likes to hang on to that ball. That Bengals O-line is looking a little suspect. I'm looking for the Dolphins front seven to make some noise tomorrow. And it starts with Phillips. Ogba's been amazing. Hell, even Trey Flowers, Trey Flowers is his name, right? 93, the guy we signed at D tackle. He's solid, dude. Very solid. I was watching back the All 22 again last night. I saw another guy. I wish I had his name so I could shout him out. Did a breakdown on just the D line and how they performed, and Flowers was all over the place. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think the Dolphins should win this football game, man. They should win this game.
I think they should win this game too. The only way they don't is that classic trap spot thing. Like you said, like good teams, they get over that. You know, they find a way to win. They find a way to win the game. And what was that? Oh, Tua revenge game. I mean, yeah, we're finally going to see Tua versus Joe Burrow, and I think in the short term, like obviously the quick turnaround, it sucks because like we're pretty banged up. But if we walk out of there with a win, and now we have 10 days rest, I think long term that's great. Like obviously the quick turnaround, we're banged up. The defense was on the field for 90 plus plays. Like we're going to be banged up, but everyone's banged up in the NFL. But I think if we walk out of there with a win and we're 4-0, and now we have 10 days rest, I think that is a massive win for this football team.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, right now, how we started the season out 3-0, win or lose this game, you're in a great spot. 3-1 through those games, or if you win 4-0, obviously you're in the best possible spot that you could be in. But the beautiful thing about this Thursday game is what you just talked about, all that rest afterwards. It's a mini bye. We basically get a mini bye early into the year, and there's no better time I could think of having that than right now. I mean, our star quarterback, I'm calling him a star quarterback. You heard me.
Yep.
He's got a bad back. He's banged up. Our star left tackle's banged up. Waddle's banged up. Everyone seems to have a little bit of something.
And Byron will be back.
Exactly. Byron will be back week 5. So this is a perfect game. Go out and win this game. Beautiful. If you lose this game, not the end of the world, because we already put those 3 under our belt and we're going to get healthier. And then from there, the sky's the limit. But can't look past this game. I'm definitely not looking past this game. I mean, hell, this team was in the Super Bowl last year, right?
Yeah, so it'd be a massive statement to everyone.
That's what I'm saying.
Imagine you beat the Pats. Obviously, they're not great. They're a division rival, though, and their defense is always playing great. We beat them by double digits the first week. Second week, we have arguably one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history. I mean, aside from 28-3 in the Super Bowl, but other than that, like that is one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen. Week 3, we go out, we beat our arch nemesis. And then week 4, we go out there and we beat up on the AFC champs from last year. You want to talk about a 4-for-4, Wendy's 4-for-4? I mean, dude, like it don't get any better than that. It don't get any better than that. Now, obviously, if I'm blessed enough to have any type of service to watch the game and we lose, like, yeah, I'll be upset in the moment. But definitely, I'll wake up Friday and I'll be like, oh, the Dolphins are 3-1 and we got 10 days rest. And now we're playing the New York Jets. And odds are we're going to be 4-1. Dude, I'm like, I have no problem. Like, I thought this team would at best go 2-2, and they've already doubted me. So they could just keep proving me wrong. They could prove Vegas wrong. Who knows? The Dolphins could be a freaking juggernaut. The Dolphins could be a gosh darn juggernaut. That's how good this team is. And I know Buffalo was beat up. It doesn't matter. Their offense was healthy. We held them to 17 points, and then we gave them the butt punt. Okay, so they might have been on the field the whole game, but they did not break. They might have bent, but they did not break. And I don't think Cincinnati's offense is better than the Bills. I know that they have more talent and names, but dude, Josh Allen is that dude. And no disrespect to Joe Burrow, but it's a lot easier to bring Joe Burrow to the ground than Josh Allen. And I think Joe Burrow is the most sacked quarterback in the league. And we sacked Josh Allen 4 times. And if he wasn't 6'6", 240 pounds with freakish athletic ability, we probably would have sacked him like 7 times, to be honest with you. I mean, like that guy just finds a way to stand up. Outstanding quarterback. And Joe Burrow's good too, but he does not have that 6'6" build, and he's just running around making people look stupid, you know? Joe Burrow's great, but he ain't Josh Allen, dude. So I think we're going to be able to get after the quarterback, and I think we're going to be able to keep our defense off the field. I think that's most important because those guys have to be shot out.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, the defense played way too many snaps. I mean, the game, I would expect us to run the ball a lot of short passes, try and keep that offense on the field, like you said, because that defense is hurting, man. And they might just be – they're going to be good to go. I mean, look at Holland. He played all the snaps. You don't think he's still exhausted, though? That's a lot of wear and tear on the body. So I'd like to see the offense really sustain some drives. I mean, if we hit home runs and score touchdowns,
I
you're not
think
going to
we
see
are
me
going to hit a
upset.
lot of home runs.
You're not going to see me upset, but we need to keep that defense off the field. And like Smoke said, dude, Josh Allen is a literal tank. 4 sacks on him last week, and I think that there could have been. I think there could have been 4 or 5 more where the first defender would get to him, give him an arm tackle or something, and he just bounce out of it. The dude is an absolute tank. Burrow's not that. Burrow's a great quarterback, good arm talent, can make the throws, but he doesn't bring that physical presence that Josh Allen does. So if we keep that pressure, if we can keep that same pressure we had last week and the D-line plays how we did last week, we are going to wreck this game. I think that's really the biggest advantage. And then I don't know how we haven't brought this up yet, but Tyreek Hill told Eli Apple, he said, I owe you one, boy. I owe you one. You don't think
if you remember what happened,
yeah,
Eli Apple's the one that like kept them from going in the end zone and kind of tossed them. And then after the game, Eli Apple sent Tyreek Hill tickets to the Super Bowl. Like that's like disrespect, like very, very disrespectful. Tyreek took it personal. I know he was smiling at the end of that interview, but he's dead ass serious. He owes him one. And I cannot wait to see Tyreek torch him because I don't know what happened, but that Bengals secondary just caught fire during the playoffs. And this year they've looked horrendous. Like they have looked really bad. And I cannot wait to see a Tyreek Hill revenge game. And let's not even forget about Waddle. I mean, this dude had 4 catches for 105 yards against the Bills. And I know they were banged up, but he's big play Jay. He's big play Jay. This guy he's a monster. And I love everything that he does after the catch. He's so fast. He's so quick. I think it's going to be a nightmare for Cincinnati because, like, the Bills, I know they're banged up, but they have a great defensive scheme. Like, that team is still a really, really good football team. I don't think the Bengals are that well run, like, on defense at all. I don't think so either. And if Tyreek Hill's got a personal vendetta with someone on that team, oh my God, dude.
Look out, bro. Gosh. And I'm glad you mentioned Waddle because Waddle is so sensational. I can't freak out about this guy enough. What he does is amazing. And if you want to fall in love with him a little more, you go watch his Mic'd Up on the Dolphins YouTube. Did you watch it, Smoke?
Dude, that is the greatest video. And that made me love Waddle so much more. He plays with so much passion and fire. He's like, that's what I do. That's what I do. And the thing is, it's like when you listen to Waddle speak like post game, you don't hear that side. You kind of hear like a jolly, laid back, like funny, laughing at everything dude. But on the field, he just turns into this ultimate competitor that you would never know unless he's mic'd up and you watch that. So if you haven't watched that, you got to watch it.
Yeah, bro. And just how he would pick the defense up too. Like they'd come up the he's like, "Sorry, boys, we got you. We got you, boys. We got you, boys." And it just seemed like such a team. And yes, dude, that was the next. He barked and screamed on that one.
He was growling. He was like,
I do this shit, boy. Waddle it's between Waddle and Holland for my favorite player. I just call them both my favorite player because I can't pick and choose between them. But both of those guys are electric. And yeah, go watch that Waddle mic'd up. You'll gain a little bit more love for the kid if you don't have enough already. But we're finally starting to see that offense click. And Tua, 10-1 in his last 11 games. Starting to get some actual looks and some praise and some love from all these talk shows and me. It's just a beautiful thing to see, bro. It's nice to see the kid get some love because it seems like he's been through a ton. The hip injuries, the coaching changes, it's great to finally see this kid come full circle and be the real deal that he is. And I just hope to see him keep going. And like you said, dude, I don't know how you stop this offense with all this speed unless you have a great secondary and a great defense. And I'll tell you, the Bengals don't exactly have that. So I think it matches up well for us. And seriously, I think that we can get it done.
My favorite thing with Tua so far has just been the anticipation and the accuracy. You watched that, I forgot his name. He did a great breakdown, though. You know, everyone wants to knock Tua's arm strength.
Oh, Baldy? Was it the Baldy breakdown or no?
No, it was the other dude. He loves the Dolphins. I can't remember his name.
Orlowski?
No. I don't remember. I'll pull it. Anyway, that throw on 3rd and 23, the anticipation on that throw, the delivery, and the accuracy was unbelievable. That ball went over 50-plus yards in the air, and it split 2 safeties and hit Waddle right in the breadbasket. He might not throw the ball 100 miles per hour on an absolute laser beam line, but he doesn't have to. I mean, this guy is putting the ball on the money. He's number 1 in completion percentage on throws of 15 yards and plus. Like Tua's playing out of his mind.
It's
Like,
great,
I
dude.
don't care if he doesn't throw the ball 100 miles per hour. Just keep completing passes. And he
Yeah.
showed some elusiveness, like he's not Lamar Jackson, but bro, he's able to get in and out of the pocket if he has to.
Definitely, dude. And my favorite throw he made was the River Craycraft throw for the touchdown, because you could just see, like, he had him spotted,
That was a
was waiting
laser
for that
though.
break and zipped it. But like, he wasn't open. Like, if you look at the still frame of when he throws
Was not
that,
open at
it's
all.
like, why is he throwing this ball here? But when you see where he threw it and where he put it, it was either River Craycraft was catching that or it was bouncing off his face into the ground, because that ball was
Yep.
on him as soon as he made that break. It was an unbelievable throw, and we just want to see Tua keep ascending, man. He's never going to have that big arm, but that accuracy and that anticipation and that timing has been so on point. And it just seems like when we need the big play, it's been happening. And that's one because of Tua, but also this dynamic receiver set that we put out there with him. So it's been a match made in heaven so far, and we're looking to just keep that momentum rolling, keep it going, because a
And
team with
here's my
momentum is a
biggest thing with
dangerous thing, dude.
Here's my thing with that. It's so everyone's like, oh, like he doesn't have the big arm. Dude, I don't need him to get the ball to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle when they're already 50 yards down the field.
No.
I need him to get the ball to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill when they're 25, 30 yards down the field. They catch it, and then they take off for another 40. And, like, bro, Tua's thrown the ball like 60 yards. Like he's got an arm, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he can't physically throw more than 50 yards. Like, he's thrown a ball that has traveled 60 yards in the air. Like, that's more than enough arm for me, bro. You don't have to throw the ball 70 yards. The NFL is a game of 10 yards. Move the chains, move the chains,
Exactly
move
right.
the chains. And that's what this team's been able to do. Our offense is very, very efficient. The play calling's great. The only thing that we haven't been able to do is run the football. And I feel like once that gets going, this team's going to turn into a whole different beast, because we haven't even been able to run the ball yet, Bobby.
And that's the thing. We haven't had opportunity to run the ball because we've been putting ourselves behind the eight ball a little bit by going down early, especially the Buffalo game, the Ravens game more than the Bills game, because the Bills are a good run stopping team. So I didn't anticipate us to come in there and be able to run it all over them. A team like the Ravens, I thought we were going to have some success, be able to run the ball. But when you give up a lead that early and you're chasing points, it's hard to mix in runs. But what I have seen is when we have run the ball, it's looked pretty solid. If you look at the way we started the game off last week, I think it was Mostert, or I think it was Mostert right off the bat with like a little inside toss that I don't really love that play, but when it hits, it looks beautiful. But when we have run the ball, it has looked pretty solid. Now I'm looking for a game where we can go out, establish the run, and get a lead early and keep running it. Because a lot of times it's been, oh man, now we need to score. It's time to start throwing the ball, and it's worked. But wait until that run game starts, and then the throwing comes, and it's just everything's going to look so easy. The play action game, the middle of the field, everything is going to open up when we start running the ball. So yes, that is another thing that I'm looking us to take the next step, running the ball. Because once that happens, then this offense is really can have a bag of tricks and do whatever the hell it wants.
So Mike McDaniel, he came out and said all 7 guys that didn't practice on, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, he expects all of them to play. So that's massive for us. They should be out there. They should play. The Bengals are banged up. La'el Collins, he hasn't practiced all week. His game status is still up in the air.
They lost
Their
their
injury
starting nose
reports.
tackle for
Let's
the
see.
year.
So Eli Apple, full practice. T. Higgins, full practice. Hayden Hurts, full practice. Mixon, full practice. Wilcox, full practice. Pratt, full practice. La'el Collins did not practice. DJ Reader did not practice. And Drew Sample, he's got to be like a backup tight end. He might be their starter. No, Hurst is their starter. He didn't practice. But La'el Collins is the biggest one for me. He's got a back issue. If he doesn't play, I mean, he's their best offensive lineman. They gave him all the big bucks. This Dolphins defense is going to feast on Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I mean
now obviously we want them to play. Like, we're not rooting for any injury. We're just letting everyone know that he might not play this game.
Yeah, these are the facts of the matter. There's an injury report. You got to start thinking: is the guy going to play? Is he not? If he doesn't, what does that mean for the game? It's never rooting for injuries, but believe us. But like you said, dude, if La'el Collins is out, that offensive line has already been dog shit. And Joe Burrow's holding on to the ball for too long. At least what I look. I don't go back and watch the fucking all 22 of every Bengals game. Don't get me wrong. I'm just a casual red zone, and I'll catch the highlights of the Bengals. But it seems like he's holding on to the ball too long, and the offensive line's struggling. So if you take out their major piece, Oh, God. I mean, Ugba's going to have a day. This guy's been an absolute menace. And for the Dolphins side, I mean, the injuries are piling up a little bit. They're stacking up a little bit.
Dude,
And if it
our
was a
injury
normal,
report has like 20 people on it.
yeah, if it was a normal Sunday, I think by Thursday, Friday, a lot of these guys would be off the injury report. But it's a Thursday game, so it is what it is. The biggest ones, I would really like Armstead to play, and
We
as
have
long as Tua
15 players
plays,
on
we're
the
good to
injury
go.
report. We have 15 guys on injury
It's not
on the
great.
injury report. So Teron Armstead has not practiced, but he doesn't practice all year, so that does not worry me. Again, he's the only guy where I would be fine if he didn't play, and then we get him coming off 10 days rest. Like, don't care. Obviously we need him if we want, to win. Like, he gives us the best chance to win. But if he's not 100%, I don't need him going out there and making this a 2 to 3 to 4 week toe injury, because those things linger.
Oh, yeah.
So he did not practice, but he never does. Carter, he's out. I mean, he hasn't played all year. Xavier Howard, limited practice. I'm sure he'll play. Robert Hunt, limited practice.
Shout out Robert Hunt. Yo, he's been elite this year.
He's been balling, dude.
Like, elite.
The only person on the offensive line that has sucked ass is Liam. He's terrible. If AJ comes back, I would put AJ at left guard and then keep Little at right tackle.
I've heard you pushing that a little bit, and I could see that vision, because Ike is actually like the liability right now on the offensive line.
He's the only one that gets cooked like that. Like, Buffalo had a field day on him.
I mean, Jackson's played guard before too, and he's looked good at it.
Yeah, he was good at guard. He was
kick him back inside. I think that Little's done a great job on the right side. Hunt's been holding it down, and hey, so far the center experiment
Connor's been outstanding.
With Connor has been great. I expected at least a couple
tip my backwards cap to McDaniel.
Yeah, I've expected at least a couple bad snaps like we saw on the first play of the season. I thought we'd see more of those, but he's been keeping it under control. He's been a freaking truck up front. But sorry to cut you off if you want to get back.
No, you're good. I cut you off. But I got to give my props to McDaniel, and I'll go back to the injury report. We were all begging this man to go sign a center. He said, nah, I'm good. I know what I got. Then we were all begging this man to go sign more cornerback depth. He signed one guy. He finessed us for a check. He said, nah, I'm never listening to people on Twitter again. And he was right. Connor's been amazing. And the depth that we've had at corner, honestly, for undrafted and 6th-round picks, they have been phenomenal. They've been absolutely phenomenal.
In his interview yesterday, McDaniel said something along the lines of, he's like, I've noticed that not a lot of people have been asking about the secondary anymore. He's like, it's kind of a good thing. It's like a ref in football. When you don't notice him, he's probably doing a good job. So I just wanted to, he said something along those lines, kind of like, yeah, you guys all wanted us to go out and sign another cornerback. I said we were straight and we didn't need one. And guy's been proven right. Guy's been proven right so far.
In my opinion, in my non-biased opinion, like even if I wasn't a Dolphins fan, how do you not have Mike McDaniel as coach of the year right now?
Easily.
First year head coach, he beats Belichick, Harbaugh, McDermott. Those are his first 3. He beats all of them. Save your excuses. I don't care. This Dolphins team last year has 0% chance at winning all 3 of those games. 0% chance. So Melvin Ingram, he's going to play. Bro, he's been, in my opinion, I mean, aside from Tyreek Hill, he's our best sleeper signing. Like, we knew Teron Armstead was going to be fantastic. We knew Tyreek Hill was going to be fantastic. By the way, Teron Armstead put Von Miller in jail. Like, he handled him. But Melvin Ingram, every week, he just makes such a huge play for us. And without him, I think our pass rush would be horrendous. Like, he has been fantastic for us. The only reason why he didn't practice is not injury related, vet rest. Brandon Jones, he'll practice. He's young. Hunter Long, he'll play. I don't know. He doesn't really play anyway. Tua, from what I've heard, he'll play. If not, McDaniel's like, well, at least we got Teddy Bridgewater. I don't agree with that. I would cry. I'd rather Skylar Thompson play than Teddy Bridgewater. Waddle, I see him playing. Raekwon, I don't know. Javon should get a day off, but he's going to play.
Javon will play. Javon's not missing a snap this year.
No. Cater, limited, he'll play. Like, all these young guys, I'm not worried about them, like, limited practice. Like, they just need their rest. They played 90 snaps.
Them boys' muscles are just tired, man.
Who?
I said them boys' muscles are just tired from that heat and that exhaustion, bro. They just got to sit in the cold tub for a few days. They'll be all right. The
thing is, like, these guys are professional football players. You know, it's not like they're in high school and they need, like, hitting reps, like, 100 times a week. You know, like, these guys are professional ball players. Like, Teron Armstead doesn't practice. He didn't practice last week, and he put Von Miller in a jail cell.
Crazy.
He's been unbelievable. I mean, we went from Jesse Davis to Teron Armstead.
Yeah.
And the difference has been unbelievable. I think Tua got sacked twice. Against Buffalo.
2 or 3, but yeah, nothing crazy. Like, one of our keys for that game was offensive line needs to play well, or else Tua is going to be on his ass all game. I think he only got sacked twice and then hit 3 times. That's a damn good job against the Buffalo Bills. I'll tell you that much. So the improvement we've seen there, and truthfully, like the combination of that improvement up front with the weapons, that's been the real reason Tua has been able to flourish. He's not running for his life back there, and he has guys that are willing to catch the ball, unlike Devontae Parker, who I'm surprised he hasn't pulled a hamstring yet. Because that's what we were getting with him last year. We were throwing the ball to Albert Wilson and Matt Collins, which I guess shout out Matt Collins. He went fucking stupid last week, but
he really?
He went crazy. I forget his stat line, but
when you go to the games, like you don't like absorb the rest of the league. So like I usually go back and watch it, but I've been hurricane prepping, so I'm honestly kind of out of the loop. But to your point, man, I never really thought. I mean, I've thought about it, but just the scheme that we run now compared to last year, that's night and day, and the talent difference is night and day. So imagine you're running an offense last year that was honestly dog water, probably one of the worst offenses we ever had. We had co-offensive coordinators who both stunk. Okay, we're running RPO, basic vanilla concepts. No one's getting open. And when you're in a shitty scheme like that, and your receivers are Matt Collins, Devontae Parker, and Isaiah Ford, you are not going to succeed. And then you add in Jesse Davis as your starting tackle, you are not going to succeed. Now this year, we have an offensive-minded head coach where you watch guys as talented as Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they're 15 yards open because of the concepts and obviously their talent and their speed and their route running. And then you add in a Connor Williams, who's been outstanding, a year 3 Robert Hunt, who has just made this. I mean, he was good last year, but now he looks like a stud. He looks like a true right guard that we're not going to have to worry about replacing.
All pro
and then you add Teron Armstead. Like it's just completely different. Like this is not the same Dolphins team. And I just think it's beautiful. And that's why you're seeing Tua succeed and his confidence is through the roof. It is completely different.
I mean, the play of the game last week, I think everyone would probably agree. 3rd and 22, bomb to Jalen Waddle. Last year under Flores, 3rd and 22, we are not even trying to get that first down. We're not even trying to get a yard. We're just saying, hey, let's get this thing to 4th down. We might as well have punted it on 3rd down last year because there was a 0% chance that we were even trying to get a 3rd and 22. This year, we got Tua taking a 5-step drop, looking off a safety, and then throwing an absolute dime to the middle of the field to Waddle. Like, these are just – it's night and day. It's crazy when I watch this Dolphins offense. You don't know where the ball's going, what the scheme is, what the concept is, but you know that this guy McDaniel is doing some crazy shit. And I got a feeling we haven't even seen the half of it yet, man. We've seen 3 games. He hasn't even broken out that bag of tricks yet. So just there's more to come. And like we said, once that running game gets going, it all gets just a little easier, bro.
Ooh. Is there anything you're worried about on this game on Thursday?
I just know that it's such a tough spot. Having to travel early, lack of practice, lack of preparation. I mean, McDaniel looks like he hasn't slept in weeks. We got Tua calling him at 10:30 just to check on him to make sure he's doing okay. Like it's awesome. I love to hear that. Some people were like, "Oh, that's corny." No, bro.
We didn't even talk about that, dude. That made me so happy. That almost made me as happy as us beating the Bills. It didn't make me more happy, but just the fact that our quarterback is calling our head coach at 10:50 at night just to be like, yo, are you good? Like they fuck with each other.
Crazy,
that's the difference. Like that Flores Tua thing was toxic as hell, dude. Like Tua was never calling Flores. Tua went to go play golf to send a message to Brian Flores. And now this year he's on the phone just making sure our head coach is okay.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, it's just night and day.
It's so cool. And McDaniel's reaction when he's on the press conference, he's like, "Yeah, Tua called me at 10:50, and I'm losing my mind. Like, is everything okay, Tua?" And
It's
Tua
like,
just wanted to
dang.
check in on him. Like that's some cool shit,
McDaniel was
bro.
probably like, "Damn, Tua had 2 beers. Like, we're in trouble." And it turns out Tua's just checking up on him because
Tua's
you're
just
right.
checking up.
That's probably like the head coach's worst nightmare. Like, why is my quarterback calling me late night? Like, he's probably thinking, "Oh my god, like, did he
Yeah.
get in a car accident? Like, what's going on?" And he's like, "Yo, you good?" And McDaniel is probably just like, "You motherfucker."
Yeah, dude, I love that shit, and it just speaks to the culture. It speaks to McDaniel. It speaks to every time we win and you see him in the locker room. Hands up, we're 3-0. We're happy. We're doing our thing, but that's not our goal. Our goal wasn't 3-0. The goal's bigger than that. Keep working. That shit fires me up, and it just shows that like there's a proper plan, and that plan is being executed right now by the Miami
Yep.
Dolphins. So I love to see it. But just to get back to your original question, I'm just nervous. The defense played a lot of snaps. Joe Burrow and that Bengals offense is very solid. I think their offensive line's not great, but everything outside of the offensive line is pretty talented. Burrow's a great player. Mixon's a great player. They have 3 receivers that I would consider to be very, very good. Maybe not Boyd is solid, but the other 2 are very good. So it's obviously going to pose a threat for this defense. This defense has stood tall and been able to at least bend and not break. I'd like to see maybe a little less bending and maybe get off the
Yep.
field on some of those third downs, some of those 4th and ones,
Well, here's the
because
thing,
that's the
yep. Go
difference.
ahead.
That's
Yep.
actually the difference.
Yep.
I mean, everyone talks about these Bills, how long their time of possession is, but they were just dink dunk, 3rd and 2, they'd get it, dink dunk dink. 4th and 1,
4th
they'd
and
go
1,
for
they
it and
get
get
it.
it. So like that
Yep.
stuff is frustrating, and Josh Allen's able to do that kind of stuff. Like when you have a
Right.
quarterback like that has that run pass option, or he'll just extend the play with his
Or
legs and then just
6'6" and you can't
slang that
tackle
thing in
me.
there. Yeah, it's crazy. But the Bengals don't have that. So I'd like to see us get off the field earlier, but
Yep.
obviously it's a concern about how much they played and how banged up we are. But I still, when you go player for player throughout the rosters, we have the better football team. Point blank.
My biggest concern is the public just betting the shit out of the Dolphins, and then all the sharps are just taking the Bengals. Because I'm going to be completely honest with you, and I stand by this. I am someone who has bet the NFL since I'm 14 years old. There is nothing I have not seen. Like, I understand spots, and I'm 18-4. I'm 18-4. I'm betting the NFL at an 82% clip. Like,
Crazy.
no, you're not like me. I'm sorry, and I'm not here to beat my own chest or be prideful. But like when it comes to betting on the NFL, like, I am him. Like, I'm himmy. And I'm looking at the Dolphins defense. I'm looking at the Dolphins offense. The Bengals are not with us. They are not with us. I'm sorry. The only thing I'm worried about is too many people betting on the Dolphins and all the sharps betting on the Bengals, because whether you like it or not, the NFL is rigged, brother. In certain spots, like some of those games are rigged to the absolute bone. I'm telling you, I'm not lying to you. You saw it in the NBA. It happens in every league. Shit is rigged, son. That's why Kodak said, I don't bet any sports no more, because all that shit be rigged. You just got to know which side of the rig to be on. So we need more people to bet on the Bengals, and then I'd be more than confident in the fans. I think they'll be able to go in there and defeat the trap game because, like you said, the Bengals have a great offense, but so do we. Like, I take Waddle, Hill, and Wilson over Jamar, Higgins, and Boyd. I take that all day. The only thing that I think they have better than us right now is a running back. And
Mixon's good.
like over a career, obviously over a career, Joe Burrow has way better numbers than Tua. I'm not arguing that. If I made a top 10 quarterback list, Burrow would probably be slotted over Tua right now.
It's
But
fair.
who is playing better this year as a team in 2022? It is Tua in the Miami Dolphins, and it's not even close, because Burrow could be as cool as he wants. He could dress however he likes. But if your offensive line is not blocking and you are getting sacked 5 to 6 times a game, I don't care who you are throwing to, you have no shot at being successful.
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't agree more. And like you said with the Burrow Tua thing, like is Tua a better quarterback than Burrow? We'll let time decide that one. I think it's way too early to call. But at this current moment, Tua is playing better football than Joe Burrow. That's point blank. And Tua is
Yep.
playing better football than nearly any quarterback in the NFL. Maybe you could say Lamar's playing
Elite.
better than him. I think you could probably say Lamar, but he went toe to toe with Lamar and took him down. So at this
Bro, he
point, like,
outplayed Lamar Jackson.
That's what I'm saying. Toe to toe,
Like
mano y
Tua
mano.
ain't got no legs like that. Like Tua got a little whoop, he got that little juke move, but he doesn't have 4.4 speed. Like Lamar
No.
Jackson beating us with his legs, this and that. Bro, this man Tua threw 6 tutties on him. 6 touchdowns on him. In
This
the fourth quarter, he had 4 of them. Facts. I agree.
I'm
Facts,
actually that's actually a huge point. The tackling has been a little suspect on this team, man. You'll see the first guy get there, kind of put an arm tackle on him, and the running back just breaks it and gets an extra couple. Even if it's just an extra like 2 or 3 yards that the guy's picking up, those add up in football games, man. Football is a game of inches. Every yard matters. And when I'm seeing sometimes our linebackers or our D line or our corners or whoever it is will come up and make the tackle and they won't finish that bitch off. So our tackling has been a concern. It hasn't come back to bite us in the ass yet, and I'm hoping it doesn't. So that is definitely a good call. That was Captain Swole TV. This guy's fucking jacked, it looks like, from his picture. So shout out to Captain Swole. What a beast.
And to anyone that wants to debate Jamar Chase and T. Higgins versus Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, just look up the stats for me. Just look at the numbers real quick for me. Because Jalen Waddle is 3 yards away from being in first place of leading the NFL. And just last week, they were 1-3 because I think Stephon Diggs snuck in at 2 after they destroyed the Tennessee Titans. But I'm telling you right now, there is no better 1-2 punch in the NFL than Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And if people that understand vol and they knew Jalen Waddle at Alabama before he got hurt on that kick return, the man was unstoppable. Like no one talked about Devontae Smith until Waddle went down. Like him in himself, this man was the 5th overall pick or 6th. Did we get him at 5 or 6? He was the 6th overall pick in the draft. 6th overall pick in the draft. Like he is him, bro. Like he's not like some slouch. He's really not a wide receiver too. We have wide receiver 1A and wide receiver 1 lowercase a. Like they are both their own dogs. Like they are, dude. This team is special.
I mean, I've been quietly starting the campaign. But after this game, I hope that I can full blown go with this, that Waddle's better than Chase. And we made the best decision ever trading back and taking Waddle instead of Jamar. I'm already starting to start that rumbling a little bit, put that in people's ears. People don't want to hear that yet.
I think you publicly have stated that.
I have. And I'm not scared. I'm good by that take. I'm not backing down from that whatsoever. I'm just waiting for the people to start to realize that. But side note, I don't know. This just clicked in my head. I got to start going to the NFL draft every year because I attended that draft where we drafted Waddle, Phillips, and Holland. So I think I might be the good luck charms. So I'm headed to Kansas City next year to see where we pick with the Niners. And speaking of, the Niners are shit too. So that
really,
draft
where are they at right now? I don't even know where they're
1 and 2.
Now. Really?
1 and 2.
It's a long season because remember last year we had their pick and they started terrible and then they ended up going to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, but they lost to that Broncos team on Monday Night Football, and that was one of the uglier performances I've ever seen in my entire life.
Like a trap game when everyone bets on the Niners, right? And then next thing you know, the dumpy Broncos that no one thinks are good, they somehow win, right? Basic gambling 101. They don't know. They just started betting. I've been doing this since I was 14. Honestly, so we're at the 40-minute mark. I know we usually go an hour, but the storm's about to hit, so I got to keep preparing. Let's get into some final game predictions. I'm going to start first because I have a feeling I'm going to hit your score.
I'm writing mine down. Don't say it yet. I'm writing mine down. Right. Am I going high or low scoring? All right. You're good.
27-20. Fins win.
I got 28-27 in a nail-biter, barn burner. Fins win. Fins win again and again and again and again.
Well, here's my thing. I think it's going to be tied going into the fourth quarter, and the Fins walk it off with like the game-winning touchdown. 27-20 is my final score.
We've won every game in style this year. Nothing's been like an easy cakewalk. It's always coming down to the fourth quarter, big plays. So, I mean, why wouldn't this one? And I like this from Draco.
We find a way to win.
I think it's time for the Xavier Howard interception. He's had his hands on a couple this year that he just hasn't hauled in. It's time for – because Burrow's going to think, I got Jamar Chase down there. I just throw it up to Jamar Chase. He'll make the play, right? No, sir. X is going to throw that X up. He's going to grab one. That's my prediction for the game. 28-27. Dolphins win.
I love it. Shout out to everyone in the chat. I love you guys so much. Like, you guys have no idea how much it means to me and Bobby for you guys to tune in and listen to us. even when we're doing an emergency episode, we got 53 people in here. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it means a lot. To all my Floridians out there, be safe during this hurricane, bunker down, and say your prayers, man. But love all you guys, praying for all you guys, and hopefully I'll see you after the Fins win on Friday. We'll have a little victory Friday. And yeah, man, Fins up. Love all you guys. And Bobby, throw it up.
Fins up.
For the
Thank you guys.